think we've capped it out at this point. Alright, let's heal up and continue on. Actually, you know what? I can probably get some more stat points out of this money, and we'll just use the last of our mana. But so I stream late because nobody's around to be bothered by the fact that I stream at this time. Nobody's using the internet. Nobody is... Nobody's using the internet. Nobody's around to, like, bang or make noise or do the laundry or anything like that. Let's see. Oh, hey, Birdcatcher. You are here late. Go to bed. Don't you have school in the morning? I don't even know. Okay. But yes, I do still live with my parents. I'm not that old. I'm 24. And, like, I lived on my own for a while. Doing work for Nickelodeon. But, that sucked. Alright, other questions. What is my favorite color? Purple. Kind of the bluey type purple, not the red type purple. I know that doesn't seem like a huge distinction, but it matters to me, because I really don't like, shoot. What's a good, like, reddish purple color name? I don't even know. Whatever. Boxers or briefs? Briefs. Do I have the boots? There we go. How much money did you give me? It doesn't say. We don't have the money thing yet. Wow, that is actually a lot of money. Not as much as they were worth, but it is worth a lot. Which is kind of neat. Let's see. What other questions? Don't have any school anymore. I was expelled, Birdcatcher. Done with the semester. No classes tomorrow. In that case, Bird, we should hang out. Maybe not during the day, seeing as you should probably spend time on Ladybird, but still. And anybody watching this on YouTube, if you don't know who Birdcatcher is, he is my co-host for Catterday and good friend-ish. I don't know. Can stream for 5.5 hours straight, but can I see why kids love the taste for Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I used to love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was actually, it used to be one of my favorite cereals. But now, now that I'm older, my teeth actually hurt when I eat it. So I kind of had to nix that from my diet. Same thing with Captain Crunch, actually. Any cereal that seems to have crunch in it, either I can't eat or I do not like. What the fuck? Alright, Q&A has just gotten stupid at this point. The next question on the docket is, how many potatoes does it take to give me an erection? I'll be honest, I've not tested that one before, but I'm gonna say 7 because that's my default answer, given the stimuli. Which in retrospect sounds kind of weird, given the situation. Good friend-ish. I don't know. It's an interesting... Oh, God. Like, this might be, like, too deep for YouTube. I don't even know. But, like, growing up, I never really had a whole lot of friends. Because I kept moving. My dad's not in the military. My mom's not in the military. Nobody in my family is in the military. I was just holding on to a corner there. And, like, it wasn't doing me any good. Because I didn't have a whole lot of friends. Part of it was, like, I was always, like, 1 year too young or 1 year too old to, like, hang out with anybody that I actually liked. Everybody from my generation always seemed like they were, I don't know. Like, every time I was in school, like, the kids from my years were mean to me, but the kids older than me were, like, actually kind of cool to hang out with, and, like, we'd get along quite well, or anybody younger than me just was kind of annoying, but, like, it was easier to pick them out. I don't know. I just never really had a whole lot of luck. I also just realized I've been running through this level without healing up. Which, in retrospect, is kind of dangerous, but at the same time, I like danger. No, I don't even know. But, so, like, growing up, really did not actually have a whole lot of, like, friends. So, there's a reason why, like, I can do YouTube, so much, so consistently. It's because, quite literally, the only friends I actually maintain any connection with are the people I do YouTube with. Because everybody else, I'm not really friends with. Haven't been quite a while. Like, all of the friends I ever made in high school, I effectively just have cut all ties with because they were barely friends, if that makes sense. We did actually take a fair amount of damage here, probably from getting, just repeated damage. Oh well, should probably just heal up on the next stage and call it done. But so, when I say, like, Birdcatcher is a good friend-ish, it's largely because, largely because, like, I've never met the dude in person. I only vaguely know what he looks like because we added each other on Facebook. But, you know, I've never met him in person, and there's a high probability that I might never. We might get there at some point. But, like, I just do not have real life friends, so all of my friends are my YouTube friends. And so, actually, it feels kind of weird from time to time. Where, like, I will actually get kind of antsy because I have, like, no social interaction with people at all. And so, like, if I don't get to do my, like, semi-weekly collabs or whatever, I actually get kind of anxious because the only other people I talk to are, like, my folks. And it's just kind of like, well, I am a hermit, and this makes me feel really depressed. Mainly just because, like, I need to be able to talk to somebody sometime, which is kind of awkward because I'm terrible at small talk. Like, ask Birdcatcher, ask Keith, ask Gnomes, ask anybody. Maybe one of the biggest problems for me not being able to maintain social connections with people, simply because I can't make small talk. I can talk about stuff, like, for a long time while playing video games, but that's like the only time I can small talk, or just carry a casual conversation. Otherwise, I just get really distracted. It's actually like a consistent problem even in like relationships. Shell, who, you know, my fiance, if like you didn't know, actually gets really angry at me because I cannot focus on conversations with her unless I'm playing something or doing something with my hands. Because otherwise I just get really distracted because I can't think of a time in the past couple years that I have not been working on something. Like, being idle is just not a state of being for me. And so, like, yeah, you might not really consider, like, YouTubing work, but it's at least kind of stimuli to, like, keep active, in a way, keep my hands active. Same thing with painting, drawing, stuff like that. Let's see. How many shopkeepers can you get following you to the next stage? Oh, that would be interesting. That would be really cool. Alright, I will actually give that a go, Foxhole King. That sounds kind of fun. It's true. Birdcatcher is an hour flight away, or like a 5-hour drive, I think. That'd be really weird to like go visit Bird. But he's also going out to Seattle in like a week or two. So that is kind of the problem. And for people watching this later, this episode was filmed, what, May 12th? Night of May 12th, something like that. So, I don't know, frame of reference for anybody wonder exactly dating-wise. I hate dating videos, it always feels so weird and awkward to me. I'm just rolling people. Alright, for better or worse. Okay, before he even gets his orbs out. That's great. Yeah, just hop on pop and murder his face in. Do I still have that extra key? Nope, must have gotten rid of it somewhere along the way. Do something with your hands like a hand job while talking to Shell. Cute. Okay. Let's see. So pretend I'm always playing a video game. Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be kind of ridiculous. Honestly, I'd probably get more distracted. Like, I was farming in... Oh, what was I farming in? I think I was farming in Robocraft and carrying on, like, a deep conversation about, like, marketing techniques with Shell a little while back, and it's just like, oh, this works. Like, I actually get really uncomfortable if people are like, hey, we should just have a Skype chat and just, like, sit here talking for a while, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Maybe it's part of the fact that, you know, I did not actually have friends growing up, so it's like, how do you actually friend? I don't know. Video games? So instead, I kind of prefer the well, not the stimuli, but the, you know, the kind of, like, play game while chatting about things. So, Manage Your Friend, Sniper Elite, that kind of thing. Let's see. Will I ever show my face? So you guys can find me at PAX. Actually, prior to PAX East, this year, I actually put up an announcement being like, hey, I'm at PAX, this is the shirt I'm wearing, come find me. Nobody actually took me up on the offer, except for some other Let's Players, but we had previously kind of arranged for that thing along the way. Okay, let's go through. But actually, as far as, like, showing my face goes, I'm not entirely sure the timeline for that, but, I actually ordered a webcam. So, that might be sooner than later. I don't know. Like, the only reason why I've never shown my face in videos, actually, no. I'm kind of secretive about my identity to a small degree, just because I really do not want, people to... I really do not want to be swatted. I think I mentioned this, actually, during the last, long run I did. But, like, I'm petrified of the idea of somebody, you know, effectively calling the cops on me for no good reason. Okay, so if I just keep jumping in this corner, we're safe and we won't blow up the blood shrine. Perfect. This is ridiculous, and not exactly the greatest thing ever. Yep. Don't move over too much. You will end up inside a wall. That's the other thing that can kill me. Perfect! Okay. But I do actually have a webcam ordered. It was on sale on Amazon for like $50 today. It's the Logitech C920 or something like that. It's like a fairly high-end webcam, and I was just like, all right, well, I just got paid by Curse, so I might as well. So I've got a webcam. I don't know when it's coming in. Actually, it's probably not going to be until like June or July that I managed to get it set up though, because by the time that webcam shows up, I'm actually going to be out of state, which is going to be kind of annoying. But yeah, no, swatting sucks, and like that's the reason why I'm trying to avoid stuff like face cam, stuff like whatever, just because I'm really afraid of, you know, cops showing up to my door and being like, hey, we heard you're murdering your family, and I'm like, no, like not no question mark. But so that is like my consistent fear here, just because I know that I would have to wildly change my setup if somebody did swat me. And I'm kind of hoping that trend is like over. I have not heard of anybody getting swatted in quite a while. But that doesn't necessarily mean it hasn't happened recently. I just haven't been paying any attention. I'm directly on top of the sword trap. Kind of floored that I didn't actually get hit by it, and all of the dodging side to side. No, I didn't get hit. Probably just got stabbed a couple of times, or smacked a couple of times by mummies. Yeah, that's more likely. But, yeah, for those of you that don't know what swatting is, it's somebody gets a hold of your personal information, like where you live, and stuff like that. And usually it's based on, like, a PayPal donation. Any kind of, like, identifying information can be usually used to trace a person back. Like, you think I'm pretty private on the internet. There are a fair amount of people that have actually figured out who I am, what my, like, full name is. And, like, part of it is I'm not particularly careful about it. You know, people with certain contact information. People that know what my DeviantArt is, actually, know what my real name is, or at least knew. I think I've removed my identifying information from that now. But like, it's really easy to identify me as a result of, you know, any number of things, and then from there you can find my address, and then you can call the cops on me saying that I've, you know, just murdered my entire family, and as like an anonymous tip. And cops are, you know, law-bound, effectively, to investigate. And usually what they do is they, you know, break down the door, running and yelling and stuff like that, and, you know, then realize that they've been had, which nobody's happy about. But yeah, no, I agree with Birdcatcher. Like, swatting is super dangerous, and, like, somebody may eventually get, I don't know, killed as a result of that. And I definitely don't want it to be me. I don't want anybody to get killed as a result of swatting. Like, that would be horrible. Like, and, like, it is a wonder that, you know, cops have been able to generally avoid situations like that. And, like, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, there was a video half a year ago, a whole year ago, where the creatures... okay, my real name is on DeviantArt. You can see it right now. Yeah. That's why I haven't shown anybody where my artwork sites are. I need to remove that properly. I swear I did the other day, but I guess not. It's kind of annoying, actually. But so the creatures are like a YouTube group that kind of lived in a house together, and now they have an office and now live apart, I think. But there was a video of one of them playing, like, CSGO with a bunch of people, and then he just goes AFK, and then eventually they put out a video of... Oh, right, it was his webcam, so you could actually kind of see what was going on. But effectively, you see in the background a bunch of cops run in and force... I don't actually know which guy this was. Which one of the creatures this was. Oh, right, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna scum my stats down a little bit more. I was just gonna heal up a little bit, but I guess while we're here. But, you know, the cops have him on the ground, handcuff him, interrogate him, and eventually turn off the webcam and stuff. Though I think you could still hear what was going on. But, the price of scumming does not scale with New Game Plus. And I'm kind of glad it doesn't, honestly, because your health doesn't scale up either. But so, that is, like, one of the bigger, more famous ones. But actually, most recently, somebody got arrested for it. And got, like, 20, 30 years... No, not 20, 30 years in jail. Like, 15 to 30 years in jail for, you know, swatting somebody. Which, actually, as far as I'm concerned, is very encouraging. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be, like, a practical joke and stuff like that. And now everybody knows what my real name is. Fuck. Okay. But yeah, one of the bigger swatters got jail time, and it was great. Let's see. So we're gonna go through here, and I'm gonna quickly pause the stream to try and remove my real name again from DeviantArt. God damn it. Yeah, I cannot change my name at all. That's annoying. Yeah. So the problem with, you know, me having... The problem with me having my name on the internet right now is I am the only person in the US with my name. It's very identifying. Like, you actually know... You can easily Google where I live, where I went to school, pretty much everything about me, because my... Like, I mean, I've said my first name before, it's Carl with a C. That's not so unique, but my last name, the spelling on it is... I've never heard of anybody else with a spelling of my last name, or even my last name outside of my own extended family. So it's kind of one of those where it's like I'm trying to be semi-secretive about that kind of thing. I don't know. It's dumb. And, like, eventually when I live off on my own, really if I have, like, an office or something, I can deal with it. But if I've got, like, my folks who can actually get pissed at me for getting swatted, like, that's not a high priority, and maybe I'll just kind of give up the ghost, because realistically, I don't think people are going to swat me. Swatting seems to be a little bit more common on the... Oops, murdered him. I was supposed to leave him alone. I gotta remember to get the shopkeepers to follow me. It's kind of a pain in the butt, though. Well, let's just murder him. Interesting, different colored bombs, hard to tell. But so... I looked at the DeviantArt thing, and unfortunately... DeviantArt has no way of, like, removing it. So say for, like, making a wildly new account, even then you could just kind of back search all of my images. I don't know, it would be a mess. I really can't show things off, which kind of sucks. But then again, like, to a small degree, my artwork has been on the back burner lately in favor of, like, just applying for jobs and doing YouTube stuff, which seems kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, this seems like a wildly more viable career choice, given the current situation and my general growth, which is kind of nice. Yes, Sitari, I am just punching. I am a punching monster. I can even fight the dragon without fire shielding anymore. It's great. All I have to do is just slowly advance while murdering everything. Have I played Gmod? Bird. Somebody that's seen my Gmod videos. Can somebody tell Pouncing Cheeto how many episodes of Prop Hunt I have? I think it's like 130, 150, somewhere in there. I played a lot of Gmod. Actually, speaking of, if people watch Catterday this weekend, pretty much all of... Not all of Saturday, but a lot of Saturday is going to be Gmod related. I think it's going to be Saturday. I'm not entirely sure what the timing is going to be, but we're going to be trying to do some, like, more Gmod stuff. Because, man, like, half of the reason why I started my channel is so I could get people to play Prop Hunt with me. Or at least that... No. Not that I started my channel for... That's why I started collabing with people. That was the only kind of collaborative stuff I did for months, even. Like, I did not collaborate with any other kind of game for a very long time. I guess correction, Birdcatcher and I met through Alien Swarm, if I remember right, which is different. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Well, this is weird. So apparently the block below the door is a traversable platform. That's why the hands keep going beneath it. So it's effectively that platform that it was earlier. They just reskinned it so it wouldn't be that way. That's kind of neat. Oh yeah, we did meet through sled build. I mean, technically Bird and I, we did Alien Swarm first, I believe, because we did Alien Swarm and then sled build in the same day. But Bird and I met through the IRC on our Let's Play, which I kind of regret not going back to, but it's also one of those where it's just dead, which is kind of a darn shame. In Florida, I've not found a claw weapon in like 10-20 levels, which is kind of ridiculous. Let's see. What else do we get around here? Not too much. Okay, so we want him to follow us. But ideally, not follow us too... Nope, he followed us too hard. Yeah, I've got to get them to follow me as soon... like the last thing I do for the floor. The problem is they then proceed to follow you for the rest of the floor. So Fox Soul King, it's not really doable. Getting a bunch of shopkeepers to follow you just because of the way the levels are designed. If there's a way to get them like hooked or stuck somewhere, it'd work great. But as it stands, you can't. So that's kind of the limiting factor. Okay. Bird, maybe we should play Alien Swarm this weekend. That'd be kind of a fun collab video to do. With actually good YouTubers. Man, that was another kind of interesting thing to start off with. We're probably gonna piss him off. No! Okay, we're lucky. It was really interesting starting YouTube, because, like, obviously you don't know what you're doing, nobody knows what they're doing, commentary's hard, and everybody's stupid, right? But, like, one of the most interesting things that you, like, run into as part of YouTube is just the sheer amount of people you meet. I should stop aiming up. It is hard to punch things by aiming upwards, unless they're directly above me. But so, like, I'm talking about Birdcatcher and, like, how I met him and stuff. That's kind of one of those interesting things where we've known each other for almost 2 years now. Wow, we've known each other for almost 2 years now. I guess 1.5. Come what, September, October, we'll have known each other for 2 years. But, like, the first collabs I ever did were actually with some of my real life friends, actually. Who I did, like, one video session. So if you look at my Gmod stuff, my first couple videos were prop hunt with my real life friends. And then I was like, alright, let's do that again. And they're like, sure. And then they flaked out on me, like, immediately. And it was just like, alright, never mind. I'm going to go meet some YouTubers and we're going to go play prop hunt together. At which point I did one collab session with, like, 3 other guys. And then all of them promptly quit YouTube. It was kind of dumb. Because I really didn't have anything else. Like, I didn't have anyone else around, so I just kind of picked them up via Twitter. Actually, okay, so the story of, like, my first collab session with YouTubers was not with Bird. In fact, I didn't meet Bird until, like, a little bit after. Hello. After that, I'm standing directly on spikes, aren't I? Yes, I am. But I didn't actually meet, like, Bird and Company, or at least I didn't actually start doing video... Oh, man. I didn't start doing videos with Bird immediately, seeing as I keep mentioning Birdcatcher. I didn't actually do videos with him immediately because I was actually intimidated by the guy, and I think he's actually listening to this right now. But, Bird, you can totally link to your YouTube channel if you want to. I don't care. As long as you're not, like, automatically just trying to advertise. I just do not mind one way or another. But so... I was actually intimidated by Bird's channel because it was one of those where it's like... he had like a really good voice, and he was already pretty good at the whole like YouTube talkie type thing. Like, commentary is a hard skill to pick up, and like some people are natural, some people aren't. And so, you know, for me, Bird was actually, you know, wildly better than me. And it was one of those where I felt intimidated. And I was also small. Like, Bird had, like, 30 subs when I had 10. Which, you think about that now. Like, that's the difference between, you know, today and tomorrow for me. If not more. And, like, that sounds kind of egotistical, but, like, once you actually start growing as a YouTuber, you just don't stop growing unless you really mess stuff up. See, I've got everything right. Yeah, and it's impossible to get the shopkeeper to follow you. But so, I was intimidated by the guy because he seemed like he had everything down, and I didn't know if I would fit in that mojo. And so it was kind of one of those, like, I'll do collabs with him later, or something like that. And eventually, I mean, at this point, he's, like, my most consistent collaborator, so there's that. But so, eventually I saw, like, one other guy he was, like, Mango something. Mango Man? I don't know. But he had Mango in his name. And he was just some, I think he was, like, a Canadian, like, engineering student or something like that. But the guy was putting together a collaboration from YouTubers from our Let's Play, as well as, like, other groups. And so I saw this being organized, and I'm like, oh man, I want to be a part of that, but I kind of already missed the bus. And I'm really shy with people that I've never met before. Unless, like, I've already had, like, a passing conversation. Like, once I've had one conversation, it's not so bad. But, like, the first conversation I ever have with anybody, I'm kind of a mess. Because I'm just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. This is weird. And I don't like it. And, you know, a large amount of that is just me being very afraid to, like, mess up the first impressions thing, which almost invariably does. I mean, maybe I'm selling myself heavily short here. But, who knows. But, so I see this, like, Gmod Prop Hunt collaboration starting to organize, and I'm like, can I join? On Twitter, like, moments before they get started. Which, you know, worked out great, because turns out the Mango guy couldn't even join. And so, you know, 4 people, and, oh shoot, who are the people? Nick Olioff, something, the Wu... It wasn't Wu-Tang, but Wu Dynasty. And, Boris. I missed Boris. Boris was cool. Nick was pretty cool, too. These are people that, like, within a month or 2 of me doing collaborative videos with them, completely quit YouTube. Like, some of them kind of persisted for a little while, some tried switching over to streaming before immediately stopped. Fans are afraid of sending me a message because I'm famous. Just send me a message, I don't care. I might not see it for like a week or 2 just because I'm terrible at checking my inbox, because I forget it's there. It's easy. If you want to contact me directly, send me an email. My email address is wanderbots@gmail.com. That I check daily. Twitch inbox does not actually notify me for getting messages, even though I have told it to do so repeatedly. So that's a little bit harder, but no, I will read messages. I might not always respond, especially if they're weird and or offensive. Alright, those do not even do damage to me. They do suck up all of my mana, though, which is, this is a lot of zombies. Let's see. But actually, the easiest way to contact me is check the Twitch chat. If I'm there, ask me the question, because chances are I will see it. Or somebody will relay it to me almost immediately after. Okay, this is a lot of dudes. Oh, no, you are not pushing me into the wall of death. I'm so glad they kind of fixed that. Sort of, where it actually gives you a bit of leeway there. Oh, that is good. But, so yeah, I did videos with, like, those guys who, I don't know, they weren't big YouTubers. I think the biggest one had like 300 or something like that at the time. And now that I look back at it, most of his audience was pretty dead. Like, at that time for me, 3 to 5 views on a video was like top. Like that was successful for me. 10 was amazing. So these guys would get like 30 views, and I was like, oh man, I wish I get 30 views on a video. So I was intimidated by them. I was intimidated by everybody. I'm like freaking Chihuahua man or something like that. Let's see. Still can't use stuff. What classified as weird? Oh, So to reference my comment earlier about like weird messages that people send me, the messages I usually don't respond to. Usually these are more like YouTube comments, but like every once in a while I'll get like a weird, semi-vaguely abusive message on usually YouTube comments, and it's just like I don't know how to respond to this, so I'm just not going to. I think this is the better idea for both of us. Oh god, I don't remember. Oh. It was a couple of days ago, somebody was calling me out for, I don't remember what game it was, but he said if I would learn to shut my mouth more often and focus on the game, I'd be better at them. And, like, if you're watching, if the person who left that comment is watching this, like, that is actually one of the more insulting things I've ever been told in a while, because, you know what, it's absolutely true, and you'd think I wouldn't realize this. If I was completely silent about all of my Let's Plays all the time, I mean, when I say weird, I mean just kind of like oddly negative. We should probably actually flame shield here. I can't do that. Sup, bitch? Oh, he's ethereal. Okay, there we go. Interesting, he turns purple. They haven't finished his animations yet. He turns purple when he's in his death animation, which is kind of doofy. But so for me, that's kind of weird just because, like, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, if I shut up, I'd be really good at games. As it stands, I'm just mostly good at games. Let's see, so I can just kind of... Yep. This is a mess, because I do not want to piss off the Shrine of Light, no matter what. So I'm just gonna awkwardly jump here forever. There we go. But like, abusive comments, mean comments, negative comments, like, I don't know how to respond to negativity. I'm a very argumentative person, so usually when I say weird, I just mean, like, comments that aren't, like, insightful or interesting or constructive. I just, like, I'm just going to refuse to respond to this because, like, I don't know how to properly respond to it, and if I do, I'm probably just gonna sound super cranky and stuff. How did I get to punch so fast? This is actually the level 4 CQC trait. For question mark. But it's enhanced by a really high speed and dexterity stat. So, normally I'd be punching maybe at like a 1/5 to a 1/10 of the speed, but because my stats are so high, I punch at alarmingly high rates and stuff like that. Okay, but where was I? Talking about collabs and stuff. Oh, okay. But yeah. So, I was, well, before the collabs thing, talking about the abusive... I'm just circling around topics tonight, but whatever, who cares? It's not like the gameplay is that varied along the way. Those thoughts about Metroidvania games. I like Metroidvania games. Valda's story is actually really cool. I'd like to play more, honestly. Metroidvanias are really cool, I just have not played a whole lot of them, ever. But so, as far as, like, the commentating, me shutting up and stuff like that, like, I totally recognize that, like, I would be a hell of a lot better at almost all games if I said nothing. But who would want to watch me if I was not speaking constantly? Like, if right now I talked half as much, I guess I'd probably be interesting enough that people would be willing to watch me and stuff. But I can guarantee you that I wouldn't be as interesting to watch as somebody that talks twice as much as me. And, I mean, that's kind of a bad way of, like, quantifying entertainment. But the longer and more consistently you can talk in YouTube, the more you can keep people engaged. It's just kind of flat logic. Because who really wants to listen to a person that only says, like, one word every couple of minutes? Wander's mind is a hamster wheel. Goes round and round. This is entirely true. And the problem is I'm trying to juggle, like, 7 topics right now. But so, like, there are times where I'll, like, actually sit down and shut up and not say anything, and I'll just clear a challenge no problem. I'm trying to think of good examples. Well, I've been recording Wonderful 101 with my brother off stream because it's the only place that I can do so and actually like commentate properly, just because it's such a hard game. So that will be going up as a YouTube series instead of being a Twitch stream, and maybe we'll do it live or something. Go back to talking about me. Will do, bird. Might as well finish this one. But for co-commentary, it's so much easier because I have somebody else around to pick up the slap. Somebody can slap me into talking about proper topics. No. Somebody can pick up the commentary slack while I'm focusing on the game, because god damn it is hard. Whereas, like, games like this, my mind will, like, go super scatterbrained if I'm in a really really tricky spot, or I'll just start, you know, yelling obscenities, because that's like the only way I can possibly commentate in any way, shape, or form. But even then, like, it's better than complete silence, except for like some very dramatic points where it's just like, this is freakishly hard, or I'm very angry. But so, like, commentary-wise, yeah, I would be a hell of a lot better if I didn't have to talk, which is why collabs I tend to be a little bit more competitive and a little bit more successful, in a way. Whereas, you know, when I'm doing solo stuff, I'm a little bit derpy. Not gonna lie. But then again, I guess I do tend to throw multiplayer stuff, if I can. Or cheat, as Bird would like to probably point out. Considering our Sniper Elite thing the other night, which was absolutely amazing. Seriously. There's nothing more fun than being a complete paranoid wreck while trying to snipe at your friends. It's great. Commentary-wise, it'd be a hell of a lot better. Yeah, gameplay-wise, it'd be a hell of a lot better. But, ooh, hello. We got secrets. How much health? Oh, wow, my stats just rapidly change every single time I attack. It's great. I do 210 damage with a crit. Yeah, this is by far my most powerful I've ever been. I'm just gonna punch upwards for the time being. Anybody that comes by me is just going to... Oh, we've missed. This is not working. Oh, these are swords. I'm getting out of there. Ooh, there goes all my mana. Still. But so... Talking about collabs. Let's go back to that. But so, I got... Originally, like... I've mentioned this. Like, originally, channel was going to be a co-commentary channel. It was going to be Shell and myself, and we were going to play games together. And I wanted her to do, like, all of the games, be very, you know, very participatory in, like, what I did. Effectively be Game Grumps, but, you know, guy and girl style. And, like, there are a couple of combos like that. I'm trying to think of good ones. There was, like, Game plus Megan, but I think she's quit YouTube at this point, which is kind of a shame, because they were damn good. How much longer are we going to do this? I don't know. Till I finish the comment train, I guess. Or the thought train? It probably won't be too much longer. I've been apparently doing this for 2 hours, though it doesn't feel like it. See, my inventory is already full, isn't it? But let's see. But so, like, collab-wise, that kind of took over in precedence just because I didn't have anybody to play with. Like, Shell's never been that interested in YouTube comparatively, and I think she's gaining more respect for it as she's realizing that it's actually a potential career choice for me. Comment train is forever. It's true. Thought train is all over the place and erratic. It's like, my thought train is Italian. It's always running on time. Unfortunately, it's schizophrenic Italian because it had no idea where it's going. That was pretty... Oh, I'm standing on sword traps. That would be kind of a problem. Yeah, no, you can only watch somebody insta-kill zombies for so long before you get bored. I totally agree. That's kind of why I've been trying to talk about stuff. The problem is, I keep getting topics to talk about. Because I usually don't get to talk about these things for very long. Because otherwise I'm just very focused on gameplay. Let's go back and sack some health for a second. But so, after realizing that, you know, Shell wasn't going to be the collaborative channel partner that I was looking for, I was like, alright, fine. I'm gonna start doing solo stuff along the way. But so, eventually I was just like, alright, you know, the easiest way for me to do this is just actually to go out and meet people along the way. And, you know, see who I can collaborate with, make videos, kind of have fun and stuff. And so, that's kind of how I eventually met people like Bird. In fact, I don't actually remember how far into YouTube meeting and doing stuff with Bird was. I'm just talking about Bird because he's like the most consistent person at this point. But like we met via the IRC chat, which I'd mentioned prior. But it was a while before like we really started doing videos together. And even then, like, I definitely didn't make as many videos with him as I did with some other people. Oh, okay. Oh, those are not spikes. This is pointlessly risky for no good reason. Well, I'm doing it anyway. At this point, let's leave the floor. But so that's kind of where I started picking up the groups. And like if you go back and actually really if you watch Prop Hunt, because that's probably the best example of like my collaborative activities for quite a while. Am I gonna play different games after this? Oh yeah, Catacomb Kids. In fact, let's do one more level and then do Catacomb Kids just to finish that. But let's see. Yep, Shadow. I am not going to die. I am just scumming really hard. I can almost one-hit kill these guys. I can punch faster than I ever could before. Okay, I got like 80 hit points. 50 hit points. I'll be fine. The speed of the punches is just like night and day if you're holding the walk button and not. It's absurd. But so like if you go back and like watch all of my Gmod footage along the way, like Bird I think is the most consistent participant and one of the more active ones. And then like there was, oh god, chat, live chat, comment chat, whatever. Raise your hands if you would happen to know what Cogs Caps is. Have any idea? I think Bird is probably the only one that actually knows of that era in my like YouTube career. But that was like kind of our pseudo but not Yogscast style YouTube group. But like we put that together. It was a group of like 10 people too. Okay, so one person does. Grove does. But so we want to do like a Yogscast style group, or you know, just kind of like a syndicated YouTube group where we had like a community channel and we did stuff together constantly, and we did like a monthly game competition. There were like 2 teams, the Cogs and the Caps. And it failed miserably. One of the biggest problems about like forming a YouTube group with YouTubers in general is like consistency is important. I mean, it's true of like YouTube in general. Hey, pork chop. You need to have everybody on board, everybody there, everybody working together, and like anybody that misses it obviously is effectively worthless to the group, and people that, you know, can't be there, period, are a waste because they're not ever going to contribute. So it was very common for me. I'm just gonna kind of crowd surf over here. But so we formed the Cogs Caps group, which was supposed to be our thing, and then effectively it just became a core group of like 5 people. 3, effectively, as soon as we formed the group, quit and just went completely silent. 2 of them, one guy, oh god, I don't even know how or what happened, but one guy was like, yeah, I sold my computer and I'm joining the military, and like I keep all of my money in gold in a vault in my house. Like he was one of those people, but I really just feel like he was a pathological liar that was just giving excuses for why he couldn't do stuff with us, which was interesting. And this guy was like a huge braggart as well. But so, you know, he was right out as far as like group stuff, and eventually it just kind of became Wanderbot organizing everything, which has never changed. Okay, just hide over here. But, yep. I guess it really does not do that much damage, so why am I even afraid of those things? But, eventually it just became, you know, me being effectively the sole driving force between, like, 90% of the YouTube communities. Unfortunately, I've actually kind of gotten some bad habits as well. Like, I actually feel really left out. I feel really left out if I ever hear that somebody's organizing something without me. You know, that wants to do a collaboration that does not involve me, because I'm always the one organizing them, so it's just like, why can't I be in somebody's, like, organized collab session? Should probably not do that too much. Because I'm just so consistently used to being the only person that ever manages to organize anything. But I'm actually making, like, some huge strides in, like, kind of my original goals as far as YouTube goes. Because one of my main goals was actually to do what Catterday is. Like, that was the goal when I started doing prop hunting along the way. And, I mean, at the very least with that, I've succeeded. I don't know. Feels good. Let's see. I don't need the extra mana. this is a topic that I will probably continue at some other day, possibly in some other video. Because now, I think I'm gonna go play some Cavern Kings. What's my favorite shape? I have no idea. And I'm not gonna go play some Cavern Kings, I'm gonna go play some Catacomb Kids. There we go. The problem is the name, the acronym, it's just all, It's all just combined into the same thing in my brain, and it's dumb.